Hello everyone! Today we're doing a back to school haul. As you would have seen from my very embarrassing Officeworks vlog,
So you have to finish.
Okay, I'm gonna debrief in the car for a second because that was so embarrassing. I was looking at the pens that you saw earlier and a worker came up to me to say that they were closing, and so I was like, oh okay, that's okay, like I'm about to check out. And then literally a minute later a girl comes up to me and she's like, we're closed. I'm like, oh what? And I was so into the pens that I didn't see that like the gates had been closed, and I didn't realize I was the last person out. I don't know, I think I completely forgot that it's a weekend and they close early, and all the workers were waiting for me at the counter so they could go home, and I was so embarrassed. Like I felt so bad. I was basically kicked out of Officeworks. That is so embarrassing. I don't know how I'll recover from that. Oh my gosh, that was embarrassing. I hate drawing attention to myself, so vlogging and talking in front of the camera is also like way out of my comfort zone. But the fact that everyone was waiting for me to go home, that is like next level embarrassment, because I swear up until I got to the pens there were so many people around me. I am so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna drive home so I stop thinking about it. Let's start off with the things I got from Officeworks. First up is this binder. So it's got 2 rings and I am planning on buying one for each year. So one of my biggest regrets with my nursing degree was not having all my notes from every subject clearly divided for each year so that I could go back and refer to them. Because for all degrees, regardless of what it's about, you really just build on what you learned from your first year to your second year to your third year, and so on. And that was one of my biggest regrets. Some units would have really good notes and then other units would have little to no notes, and they were all over the place, and still is today, because in my first year I was handwriting notes, and then towards my final year everything was online. So now I am wanting to store everything in the one binder, so this will be for my first year of law. So to match this, next are dividers. I got plastic ones because I cannot stand the paper ones. They rip and I don't think they're really good quality. I've been through that phase in high school and it just was not for me. So yeah, I have 10 tabs. Our uni does trimesters, so it's 3 units per trimester, which means 9 subjects in 1 year. So 10 tabs should get me through. So next for the binders, we have these sheet protectors. Nothing interesting. And then we also have the basic sticky notes. Also bought this non-adhesive book covering. I wanted something to cover the textbooks, and I've done the whole adhesive book cover contacting phase when my sister and I were both in school, and I'm not about that life anymore. This is just an easier, no commitment solution to protecting the textbooks, because you never know, you might sell the textbook. Okay, so I think I found the pens. These are, let me get them all lined up. It's also why I was tragically kicked out of Officeworks. But is it focusing? Anyway, these are the Pilot Juice Up 0.4 millimeters pen. These glide like a dream, and I'll insert a clip of them on paper, but the second I tested this, I knew these were the ones. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any with the seal on them, so they've all been used one way or another, which sucks. But I just realized this one is actually dirty as well. If you can tell, there's a mark. The front, it's got this skid mark. Okay, I'm just gonna try and not think about that. But anyway, I think I found the black versions on Amazon for a set, so I might get them. And yeah, this must be their pastel range. So I got purple, blue, and pink, and a grey pen. Not exactly sure why I got the grey, but I have it now. So that's it for Officeworks, and I'm now going to show you my own personal stuff. So in addition to these plain sticky notes, I have paper, what do you call it? Like paper tabs. I do prefer the thicker plastic sticky tabs, but they were so expensive, so I'm gonna try and see if I can find a cheaper alternative, especially because I think I'll be using them a lot. Or if you have recommendations, please leave them down below. And then recently I really got into book annotations for the first time, and I bought a bunch of these sticky tabs. But as you can see, they're all like within a similar color scheme, and it's not really what I'm after, so I've opened some already. So what I might do is take some off that I don't need and then replace it with the colors and make my own palette. Might be easier. And I have this pencil case from Muji, which is actually my sister's. There's nothing that exciting in here, but I have the mild liner highlighters because I heard from my sister that highlighting is key for law. I have these portable scissors from Muji, although I don't think they sell these anymore, so I'm very sad about that. Just a black eraser. So I have this mechanical pencil from Minimaru, and it's a shop in Melbourne that sells lots of Japanese homeware and stationery. So it's a mechanical pencil that looks like a pencil and also has an eraser. Clear ruler from Muji, I think. I keep glue tape with me because I do some journaling, and I like to keep scraps from different places and stick it in my diary as like a scrapbook. I have whiteout. I use the liquid version, which apparently ages me because no one uses liquid whiteout anymore. But I haven't had a good run with your normal liquid tape because it'll lift in certain places and it doesn't work, so I go for the liquid one. Otherwise, I've got my normal pens. I really like thinner pens. So it's the same Pilot pen, but it's 0.28 millimeters. And then my thicker pen, which it won't focus, is 0.38 millimeters. Okay, that's it for my pencil case. Now the biggest question is, how am I going to do my note taking? Initially, I wanted to buy 3 binders for each of my subjects this trimester, but I realized honestly I'm not going to be carrying around a binder around campus. And the thing that I'll be applying from my nursing degree into this law degree are these folders. These folders may not look special, but these are customizable, and I'll show you what I mean. They are customizable in that normally they will just come with these pockets. These are refillable, so if you pull it apart, the binder ring comes undone. I've added some grid paper because that's my preference when it comes to handwritten notes. I think it's just much easier to structure and organize your notes instead of lined paper. And so these three are exactly the same, one for each subject this trimester. So what does this look like for my notes? Am I going to be handwriting them? Absolutely not. From what I can already tell, law is a lot of readings, a lot of lectures, a lot of case studies, and whilst handwriting might be useful for active recall and for when I'm studying certain concepts, I don't think it's a sustainable method of note-taking for myself. So what I used to do for my nursing degree is something like this folder. Towards the end, and especially in my final year of nursing, I definitely just wrote all my notes online, and I think I solely used the Notion app. But back in the day, I think in my second or third year of nursing, my notes were like this. So I had all my subjects here, and if you look closely, these notes are typed. So back then, when I first started this method of note-taking, I only really had access to grid paper like this. But you can see this is what my notes would have looked like. So from here, let's randomly pick this one, which is cardiovascular diseases. And this is what we've got. I have notes on dyslipidemia, arrhythmias and atrial fibrillations, coronary heart disease. You skip ahead to say musculoskeletal system. I've got notes on that, diagrams even. You can honestly customize it however you want. And in fact, I have my first year chemistry notes here as well. And I used to handwrite them. So I'll show you what they look like. Clearly, I had a lot more time in first year and I cared much more about my notes. So these were my handwritten chemistry notes. We'll just quickly flip through some of them. And yeah, this is pretty much what I did. And honestly, haters will say, you're wasting time, you're wasting your effort, you could be studying whilst you're making your notes look all pretty. But if it makes you look at your notes because they're pretty to look at, that's a win for me. And as a disclaimer, in first year uni, I actually failed my chemistry subject and I had to redo it. So these notes that you just saw for chemistry were the notes that I did for my repeated chemistry unit. And I went from failing to getting a distinction. So you can't tell me that this doesn't work. Otherwise, I think that's it. Closer to my starting date, I will probably do a what's in my bag. But yeah, otherwise this was a really quick back to school haul. I love watching them and it makes you feel so excited to go back to college. And I really missed buying study supplies. Yes, it might be me romanticizing studying, and once I start, this will probably shock me back into reality, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna continue being Delulu, okay? Being Delulu will get me through this. No one can tell me otherwise. I hope you enjoyed this haul. Please let me know if you have any other recommendations, whether it's for note taking, what worked for you. If you have sticky note recommendations, I will be so grateful for that. Let me know what worked for you for law school, what worked for you in uni. Yeah, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed this and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.